Hoosier Trapper Outdoors is brought to you by Hoosier Trapper Supply, Leatherwood Creek Trapping Scents, HTS Productions, Hoosier Trapper Deer Scents, and Leatherwood Wildlife Art.
All right, thanks for joining us for this premiere episode of Hoosier Trapper Outdoors Season 4. As you can see, we're getting ready to work on traps for the upcoming season, the 2015-16 season. And, this is part of it. Hopefully some of you have already got that done and you're all ready to go. This show basically will start where we left off with episode 12 of Season 3. For those of you that saw that, the last show there was actually the first check day of what we're starting with now. So we're on check day 2 for this particular episode. So that kind of gave you a little bit of taste of what we're doing. So that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, and the cool thing is about this time, we went for round 2, went back to Arkansas. Poor Jake down there couldn't really quite make it because of school, but we got a lot of great footage, me and Charlie did, and you'll see that later in this season as well.
Yep. As said, they left me at home, but still got 16 day-to-day diary episodes for you. So
yeah, that I want to point that out too, is when we, in the past, when we get to episode 8, 9 or whatever, we would be just doing kind of random trapline footage. Mm-hmm. So this will continue our daily trapline diary. So what you're seeing is what happened. And we don't edit that. We don't leave
There's no fluff there. It's
there is
the real
no fluff.
deal.
Yeah.
Catch or no catch. It's how it is on the line.
Yeah. The good, the bad, and whatever else. So, anyway, that's kind of where that's at. As usual, we'll have our product highlight. We've got some good instructional segments on this show, and I think you'll enjoy it. This will be a great season. Certainly the best season we've put together, I think, so far, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, we get a lot of questions about traps and equipment that we personally use, traps that we take with us on trips. The traps that I'm going to show you and talk about are ones that we use here locally and also take with us. Over the years, it's kind of evolved in terms of traps and equipment too, but what we're using. I'm not one of those people that's going to have all my eggs in one basket. There are trappers that only have one type of trap that they use for predators, and that's all that they use. As we move along, some things may change some, but generally this is what we're using. This is kind of where we're at. We typically take with us some 1 3/4 Sleepy Creeks traps. It's a well-made trap, good strong trap, small jaw spread. As you will see this season, we've had a lot of gray foxes, and so this trap definitely in the areas that we felt like we were going to catch a gray fox, which we would typically use these. Another thing about this trap is we'll use it in areas that may possibly we run into a theft issue or something like that. It's definitely not as painful as using some of the traps I'll show you here in just a couple of minutes. Probably the trap that we have in the biggest quantity are the number 2 Bridgers. Here again, another very well made trap. We do laminate it, which we've shown in some past shows. We're using a flat stock. You can buy this trap already completely modified and ready to go, fully laminated. It's base plated, center swiveled, as well as the Sleepy Creek. It's center swiveled as well. Anyways, this is the trap that we have probably by far the most of. You get a lot of trap for your buck, a lot of bang for your buck out of this trap. Very nice trap. Another trap we use some, and this is probably one that as it gets plowed under by tractors or stolen or whatever, we probably will only replace to a limited degree. I do like this trap. It's a number 3 Sleepy Creek. The jaw spread primarily is from frame to frame, not so much in high profile. But here again, a very nice trap. It is one that I've used over the years, used in Kansas, used here, and I do like this trap. The one we've started using the past 3 years are the MB550s. Here again, base plated, center swiveled. It's got the posi trip type pan. As far as the traps out of the box that need adjustment or that type of thing, this one is ready to go. Basically, you can wax it and go, or die and wax it and go. The only drawback to this trap that I see is it's more difficult to adjust the pan tension because it is a posi trip pan. So if you want something a little tighter tension, this one is a little more difficult to deal with that. But the preset tension, I think, is about 2.5 pounds, and generally that is a good place to be in the middle. So this one requires the least amount of work out of the box. You know, in an ideal world, my buddy Dave Hastings, who's the editor of the Fur Taker magazine, he loves this trap. It's an MJ500 Sterling trap. Like the MB550, it's cast jaw. It's got wire levers, less likely to freeze down. A dogless trap, and the tension is adjustable here. Base plated, center swiveled, the whole thing. Very expensive. Even more money than the MB550. Certainly both of the 550 and the Sterling, you're not going to set in areas where you're concerned about theft or concerned about the public seeing your catch or animal and risking that trap, walking off in somebody's hands. This is a trap, we have a limited number. We probably will not continue to add big numbers of these. I'll always have some of them. It's just a well-made trap. It's something that, this is probably generally what we'll focus most of our attention to, or the number 2 bridgers in the MB550 over the years, unless something better comes along. One thing you might notice too is they're all offset jaw traps. That's all we use. The only time you'll see us use a closed jaw trap is if we're using a number 11 long spring for coon trapping. These traps are primary focus would be coyote, fox, and bobcat. And generally, 99% of the time, we hold the coon that we catch in these traps. That 1 to 2% that you're going to lose that you would have lost out of a closed jaw trap too. That offset is a definite plus. So that's kind of where we're at. Like I said, we will use a mixture of traps. It kind of depends on where we're at, where we're setting, risk of theft. Smaller animals, more potentially, we'll use the 1 3/4. And this will still hold coyotes, no problem. I've actually caught coyotes, and I don't know what they did, but they actually must have slid in there, because I actually caught them way up here, and the foot would be below the frame of the trap. And he has absolutely no problem holding the coyote once you get him in that trap. So one thing we'll do with all our traps, and I've mentioned this in the past, all of them, we will have the split rings on the end of the swivel, and so that way when you get to where your location is, whether you're using a dragger or a cable stake, you can just attach whatever method you are to fasten your trap down right on the location of your set. So that's kind of an overview of what we use, kind of where we're at. Like I said, I'm not one to have all my eggs in one basket. I like to have a choice. I will tell you this, when we're going through our traps, getting ready to set a location, the traps that are 4-coiled, we are less likely to pick up. I mean, they're a battle to fight in terms of setting them. You just don't need them in most cases. The Sterling is automatically 4-coiled, but as you will see, none of these other ones are 4-coiled. So 4-coiled traps are overused, and in most of the cases, you just don't need to use that trap. So, anyways, this is what we're using. Hope this helps you some. I know it's not 100% decisive telling you what to do, but that's kind of not my style. But this is what we're using.
All right, welcome to check day 2. we've checked about 18 traps so far. Justin caught this gray right here in this cubby. Man, you know, if we can't catch a bobcat, we like catching gray foxes because it's just a cool animal. We don't have many at home. We don't have any at home really to speak of. So really enjoy catching them. It's a cool animal. So we'll take it. But this was a cat set all cubbied in, and caught this gray. So good way basically to start out check day 2. So we'll see what happens. Kind of a foggy, frosty morning. Trees are covered in frost, and so far, like I said, so far off to a good start. So.
Yep. I was using Top Dog Predator bait and Vixen Elixir on this one with some bobcat urine.
All right, check day 2. We've checked 28 traps on our line, and Justin caught the gray fox. Getting ready to meet up with our Arkansas buddies and see how they did, and then we'll run the traps for the rest of the day. Hopefully things came together on that line. We got a lot of traps to check, so we've got a lot of options going. Got a lot, and they're spread out over I don't know how many miles, but it's quite a ways. So we're obviously in different travel, you know, different groups of animals. So that's always a positive, you know, when you can go from one group to the next group or whatever. So like I said, it's a big area. So anyways, we'll go meet up with these guys and see how they did.
Howdy.
We're freezing.
Catch any?
Goose egg.
Goose egg today, huh?
But y'all,
Gray.
again?
Yeah. Big start today. Hopefully we got some more up here.
Hopefully. We got a big line to run anyway.
Yeah, we got a big line.
We're going to add to it too. It's
Yeah.
cold. Caleb made it today.
Hey, Caleb.
Ready to trap?
Let's get him.
Morning, Taryn. You awake?
Morning. I'm away
All right.
For a minute.
for a minute.
All right, let's go.
All right, check day 2 still, obviously. The deer camp right here, somewhat of a logging road or whatever coming up along the side of this ridge here. And we're completely fogged in up here, but the view is awesome. It's just absolutely beautiful up here, but you can't see it in that respect. But it's still cool with all the fog and the frost and everything. Anyways, we cut this coyote here. Top dog, some long distance, and some finicky feline on this set. So with a bobcat urine. That trap over there is one of them Sterling 500s. Awesome trap. Cast jaws. They're kind of expensive, so you got to be careful where you put them. But just an awesome trap. And you can see it did the job on this coyote, no problem. But, pretty cool. Got the whole crew here this morning. Got Taryn, Trent, Caleb. Came to visit us with us, or run the line with us today. So pretty cool. So, and of course Jared.
Yeah, I'm here.
Jared, he's got him a set on down the road, and this is just another road coming on up with the gate here. And I had some sage grass standing up here. I used that for backing and used Top Dog Predator bait, and it all paid off. Got me a gray.
Good job.
All right, Taryn. Good job.
Thank you.
We need something to break this up a little bit.
Tearing them up.
Dang right.
Okay, we got this gray fox here. Last year we had a double. Charlie and I doubled up on coyotes here last year, and as you can tell, we got one here and number 2. Jake's got one just beyond this gated pathway here, and we're going to take care of him, remake it. I know we got Top Dog on this one, and long distance, and I can't recall if I had anything else. Bobcat yarn, but yeah, doing good.
Yeah. All right. Kind of cool. Justin's just talking about catching a double on coyotes in this location where he's remaking this gray fox set just now. And if you look right down there, right where that little pine tree is there, to the left of the two big pines, there's a gray fox in that set right there too. So we'll walk down and take a look at it. So the double coyote location right here produced the double gray fox today. So pretty cool. All right, here's the set, and we were just back there with Justin's gray fox. The set, top dog predator bait, bobcat yarn, long distance, and finicky feline on this. And there is Mr. Gray Fox right there. Hiding up on that. All right, trap line tip. Seems very, very simple. Probably mentioned it in the past, but when you go to either set a trap or remake a set, put your equipment in the same place every time. What I do is pack basket on the right, bait pouch turned in. If you're using trap cover holes, whatever you're using, I have it on the left. That way you know automatically where your stuff's at, and you're not picking up and searching for it and wasting time. So, this is all for fun, but the more efficient you can make it, the more traps you can get set and the more traps you can check. So just a simple tip, but I've noticed a lot of people don't follow that. So anyways, there you go. All right, check day 2, 12:30. Basically, we're done checking traps. Pretty decent day. 4 gray fox and the coyote. And still kind of cold out for down here. So, but anyways, we're gonna skin these things up, eat some lunch. That sounds like it goes together real well. And and then set traps for the rest of the day. So hopefully the sun comes out.
Yeah, we could use some sunshine out here.
But anyways, yeah, good day on the gray fox. It's pretty awesome because we can't, as we've said, we don't catch them at home. So it's cool to come down here and catch them, and especially catch 4 in one day. So, pretty neat. And a coyote too. So
Tomorrow, I hope we don't have the pull outs and flip off traps like we had today.
yeah, we definitely had some issues today with a couple pull outs and some flipped off traps, and so
That's how it goes.
sometimes
Trapping.
that's how it goes. And as long as your trap pan adjustment's good and your trap's bedded well and you don't have it covered up too much, too much depth of coverage, that's about all you can do. Those 3 things right there, if those are all in line, then that other stuff just sometimes kind of happens. So, but anyways, let's eat some lunch.
Let's eat.
Yep. For this product highlight, I want to talk about the Ron Marsh J-hook tool. Very heavy duty tool. There are cheaper alternatives out there, which we sell as well. They do work, they just won't hold up as long over time. It's very well made, heavy duty. These J-hooks are tough. They don't look like much, but for those of you that have dealt with them over the years, they are tough to close and open. This will give you the leverage for that. Just closes it up quite easily. And then to open them, basically you just put the tips of the tool on the interior of the J-hook, and then you just press that open. And sometimes you'll have to reconfigure and then just continue to give it pressure and open it up. And there you go. Like I said, they're very well made. There's some cheaper knockoffs of this too, but we carry the original Ron Marsh tool. It's definitely a benefit to have for those of you that add chain, add drags, add swivels, all of that kind of stuff. Definitely makes the job a lot easier, and definitely a good investment for your toolbox that when you work on your traps. All right, let's put our drag over there. I'm going to attempt to get a bit of a dirt hole in here. This is going to be a example of kind of making the best of what you've got. Try to leave that in place for our back here. We're on a bit of a grade right here. I don't know if that shows in the camera or not. And the ground is really hard. It's not rocky, but it's really hard. What I've found on this one is this hardest if you go in like this with your hoe end. Get your hole started. Okay, because of how hard the ground is and the rock down there, that's about as deep as we can get it, which is not very deep. Ideally, the deeper the hole, the better. That bait's clear down in there, 8-10 inches deep. I mean, that just keeps this animal, whatever animal comes in here, just here that much longer trying to get that bait, which increases your chances of catching. So, what we'll do to help with that, I'll show you in a minute. Get the trap set. Make sure it's functioning. Good. Firing that trap off before you set it's kind of like checking your scope on a hunting trip after you've sighted in at home and you've driven 1,000 miles to go hunting. It's just a good idea. So, kind of a good analogy there. Now, since we're on a bit of a grade, I'm typically more close to the hole than I am further back. But being on the grade here, going slightly uphill, the trap can definitely be back further. Dog's at about 2 o'clock. Get this thing bedded in here. Rid of the wobble. When the ground's like this too, it's hard to get them bedded. You just got to do the best you can. Get them firmed up. That's pretty firm. That's pretty good. Okay. Hand cover on, the sifter. We'll probably need some additional dirt. This aside, use that. Just a little bit more dirt. I like minimal cover on the set, on the trap itself. I don't like that trap having to come up through a bunch of stuff. You know, for every ½ inch of cover you put on that set, which it should, you know, that's the limit, a ½ inch. When we don't put that much, that's taking a ½ inch basically away from your jaw spread. So, something to think about. Let's see.
stick some bait in there. And since this hole's not very deep, what we're going to do is smear this down here. And I broke the end of the little stick off, kept that down there, and then I'm just going to take this wad of dry grass and put it on top of that bait. And that'll add, for one thing, that'll get rid of the exposed bait. The other thing, that'll add a little bit of curiosity to the set to keep the animal here longer to check it out. I'm going to put a little bit of finicky feline right here. And a little bit of long distance on the other side of it. Long distance is very, very potent, and it does not require very much. Typically just dipping a stick on it is enough. I'm going to put that right there. And then we're going to take our bobcat urine, kind of freshen up the area a little bit. I don't have a problem with this looking all rough and dug up. You know, if an animal was digging here, they would be kind of haphazard. I mean, there would be a intent of a specific spot that he would be digging, but there would be stuff flying. So I think this disturbance here is good visual. Good, you know, it's got good eye appeal to it. So I spray a little bobcat urine back here. And since we're across the road here, typically when we make a set at a location like this, I'm going to set one side, Justin's going to set the other, or maybe set the other side of the road where the trail goes on across. We're only going to set one trap here, so I'm going to take it and I'm going to go like this across the trail. I'm going to kind of break the trail with this urine. As I've said before, we want the animal's attention here. So, but the urine itself, I think if he's just coming down here not thinking, wind's not right, whatever, maybe he'll smell the urine and check it out. So we have found that certainly we've caught a number of animals doing that. Whether I can say specifically that's why we caught them, I can't, but it sure didn't hurt anything. So I think trailing scent works for a lot of animals, and I don't see why it wouldn't work for predators too. So anyways, there's our finished set. Kind of adapted to the conditions of what we're working with here. So we got to keep in mind, fundamentally we're making a dirt hole, trap buried in front, but we've kind of adapted that to this scenario. This chain doesn't really bother me. I'm gonna throw just a little bit of stuff down here at the bottom, and the rest of this exposed, no problem. So that's good. We're done. Okay, this is August 7th, 2015, the release date of the show, and we're filming this a few days before that. Our new catalog will not be available until about 3.5 weeks into August. So for those of you that aren't on our mailing list, or you want to make sure that you're on our mailing list and you want to be sure to receive a catalog, give us a call, 317-881-3075, and to request a catalog, or you can actually visit our website, HoosierTrapperSupply.com. You can request a catalog through the site, or you can actually click on print your own and print your own catalog. While I'm talking about the website, if you just request a catalog, that's fine, but it will not get our email newsletter to you, which the email newsletter will give you show dates, Hoosier Trapper Outdoor show dates. It will maybe have some other additional news. It will also, if we run a special or whatever, we're going to run it through that email newsletter. So if you register on the site, then you will get the newsletter. If you go to our Facebook page, Hoosier Trapper Supply, you can actually say, click on the thing that says receive email newsletter, and that will automatically sign you up too. You have to enter your email address, of course. So one thing too I want to mention that I've taken on the task of writing a blog, and that is on the toolbar of our website. It just says blog, and that will take you to the blog. I will write, there's one up right now that I just wrote for August, and I will write at least one a month, and time prevailing or time available, I will write 2 a month on some months. But anyways, there's just visit the website, go to the toolbar, hit blog, and that will take you. You can read what I presently have written. So, anyways, if you want a new catalog, let us know. We'll be glad to get you one.
Join us on August 21st for an all-new episode of Who's Your Trapper Outdoors.